Reflection on Learning by Amanda Gurrell. Today's agenda, we will talk about my introduction and answer the 4 major questions of the assignment. There will be a conclusion and then, of course, my reference page. Introduction. I've learned a lot during this course about assessments for ESL and bilingual students. During this presentation, I will answer the 4 questions. 1. Why is it important to focus on improving within school policies and practices to facilitate the learning of racially and ethnically diverse students? The second one I will answer is what criteria for a diverse, responsive school should we implement, and the reflection on why the implication should be used in our school. And what we are doing, 3, what we are doing to rethink assessment at our school and improve student performance. And 5, how will I apply what I have learned in this course to improve excellence and equity in assessments for English learners? Additionally, state and national assessments are made for English learners in mind. They're not made for English learners in mind. And the average percentage of ELL students in the United States is 10% or is higher than 10%. On these assessments, language is complex and not English as a second language friendly. State and national assessments are tricky even for native English speakers. And tests such as the WITA Access Test for non-native English speakers do not have practice tests so students can understand the layout of the test beforehand. For many assessments, educators think standardly and administer a paper and pencil test with complex language. Teachers should look at alternative ways and projects to assess multilingual students. We are now on slide 4. Improving practices for ethnically and diverse students. So, why is it important to focus on improving within school policies and practices to improve the learning of racially and ethnically diverse students? By focusing on improving within school policies and practices to better facilitate the learning of racially and ethnically diverse students, the school will make sure students feel welcome and see themselves represented in the curriculum. School policies determine how schools are taught, disciplined, and supported. And if these policies are not culturally aware, or if these people are not culturally aware of different cultures outside of their own, we can offend the students. And then we as educators may not be able to build a rapport with those students. We can tarnish a rapport that already has been built, and we might not be able to build up that rapport again. We are now on slide 5, becoming a diversity responsive school. My school does not have a culturally responsive curriculum in place. Lessons are typically approached from one perspective, which is the majority of the population, which happens to be Caucasian in my district. Stories that we read in the district are focused on Caucasian characters. Therefore, many ELL students and students of different culturally diverse backgrounds are not seeing themselves in the literature, making school feel an unwelcoming place for them to be, and for an unwelcoming place for them to embrace their culture. Not all students see themselves represented accurately in the curriculum currently in place, because our curriculum focuses on one perspective. Some lessons, such as World War II and the Holocaust, teach German students about their culture, that their culture is wrong, when it was really just one radical group. But it is not covered what Germans outside of the Nazi Party did or thought during that time period. We are now on slide 6. rethinking the assessment to improve success. What my homeschool can do to rethink assessments and improve student performance is: one, assess students through projects, presentations, experiments, and portfolios that require application of knowledge and application of skills and does not focus on English proficiency. The ongoing low stakes assessments we could use ongoing low stakes assessments like exit tickets, quizzes, peer reviews, and discussions to allow for students to access translations apps or dictionaries or their native language to English. Three, we can differentiate how assessments are taken. Not all students are able to demonstrate their learning through the same outlet. Some need written, oral, visual, and creative. So using those four types of assessments based on the student's strengths would really amplify like how we assess students. We are now on slide 7, applying what I learned to improve EL assessments. I will apply what I have learned in this course to improve excellence and equity in assessments for my EL students by assessing these students on their skills, the skills of the subject, and not the English, which their English is currently developing. So it wouldn't be a fair representation if they don't know the word for dog, but they could draw a dog. If I ask, like, what barks, they might not have the words, but they might be able to draw a picture. I will also allow my EL students with appropriate accommodations that support comprehension. So these accommodations could be glossaries, sentence frames, visuals such as anchor charts, extra time, and obviously simplified language. Conclusion. Overall, I have learned a lot during this course and how to appropriately assess EL students. I've talked a lot about my home district and my home school and what we should focus on our policies to be a culturally diverse in academics, discipline, and support to continue building rapport. The reasons why culturally diverse curriculum is important in my homeschool and 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 the reasons why culturally diverse curriculum is important in my homeschool, what my homeschool should do to rethink assessments, and how I will apply what I have learned to improve excellence in assessments on my English learning students. Thank you.